All right, so I think it's about time I talk about this again. Um, Mostly due to the fact that all the migrants are the same entities. The male ones are all Horus, the female ones are all Calypso. Um, so therefore, it's not like they're actually citizens of these countries. Okay, more likely, in my opinion, they're just denizens of the underworld who are just dredged up and, can speak the language of whatever country they claim to be migrants of. Um, but I don't think are actual citizens from those countries. Um, Now, okay, so I believe there is an underworld, an underworld civilization, an underworld culture. Um, and I believe there's two types of people from the underworld that you're going to come across. Okay. Um, One, I guess, would be more natural. They were born in the underworld, to, underworld families or whatever. Uh, and the other ones were like made yesterday. Like some of these people on these commercials, you'll see them with just super plastic skin, super white eyes, super white teeth. Um, it's called homunculi, I believe, is a term for it. Um, and I guess at the World Fair, they used to show all these like test tube babies and all this type of stuff. Have all these incubator babies on display. Um, See, these motherfuckers are obsessed with magic. Okay, and this is kind of like a magic dead zone Earth. But the avatars is a way for them to be magical. Okay, flood the world with your avatars. Um, so we're gonna see a lot of the more incessant, more persistent, the more prevalent avatars in mass. Okay, these underworld denizens are going to, a lot of them are probably going to be gods or entities who are strongly associated with the underworld. For instance, Shar um, is associated with, well, she's a Dungeons and Dragons goddess who's Nyx, and she's associated with tunnels and underground chambers and all this type of shit. So, if you know about Nyx, she's every female doctor. So a lot of these medical commercials, weird medical commercials, any woman involved with them is going to be her. And so a lot of the people in these commercials are probably going to look really weird. Probably going to be some homunculi that were made yesterday and are animated by this hellish spirit. Okay. Every homeless person is Mundus. Well, Mundus is huge when it comes to the underworld, huge when it comes to hell. Um, so, yeah, you're going to, and of course, with the migrants, that's Horus and Calypso, two extremely hellish, two extremely underworldian type beings. Um, I just think there's a culture down there that could explain. Like, I'll come across some people on YouTube, and they'll have these weird ass accents, yo. It'll be like half like New York, half like Mexican or something. It just really fucking and just disturbing looking people and just really weird. I've always thought that like a lot of these YouTube videos, there's just they film all these videos in the underworld and they have these studios for this shit and um that's I don't know. I could just be totally off here. I don't have any evidence. I've been trying to sit back on this shit and not talk about it, but today I was driving down the road and I saw somebody with vitiligo or whatever, and it just looked so like it just looked like they were made in a lab with that shit, and this shit was just they're just mocking us, and it's just they're just throwing it in our face like, you know, let's dredge this creature up and have it pose as some homeless person. Um, you know, that's been one of my big contentions with all this is these homeless people, where the fuck do they come from? I'm saying these motherfuckers don't drink no water. Okay, they're out all day in the elements, in Florida, in the sun, and these motherfuckers, you see them drinking 10 times as much alcohol as water. They just may have just this weird underworldian biology about them. You know, they're so hideous. They're just so just bedraggled and just hopeless, and it just doesn't. I mean, and this is a if you want to ugly up the world and muck up the world, which we all know they want to do. I mean, what better way than homeless people? And the fact that every homeless person is the same entity is mundus. That to me just is even more possible that, you know, this spirit can just dredge up an army of homeless people overnight, like, and they'll just be here. And as far as sustenance, nutrition, all that shit goes out the window. There are these like non-human type entities. You know, humans need water and they need food, and these motherfuckers will just eat some shit out of a trash can and just drink liquor all fucking day, all fucking night. Like, I don't know, man. I really don't know. I don't know how else to explain it. So this is definitely just something. I mean, I'm saying ever since the migrant thing came out, I'm like, all right, man, they ain't getting people from a country. It's all a psyop. Okay, so this is one of their psyops they're running. I mean, I'm watching the presidential debate or whatever, and you know they should just be talking about the economy. Instead, these motherfuckers are talking about migrants, like as if that has, you know, that's just as important as talking about the economy or whatever. I'm just like, obviously y'all are just trying to, you know, trying some shit, trying to make us worry about some shit. Oh, look over here, look at this. And they can't even get actual people from these countries. There's just these dredged up avatars of Horus and Calypso over and over and over again. And I just don't. What else? Is there anything else here, really? I mean, like I'm saying the spirit. A lot of these spirits associated with the underground. I'm not putting it past Nyx or Mundus or any creature like that to pull this shit. To just be able to make overnight, you know what I'm saying? Like, whether it's in a commercial or whether it's some motherfucker walking with a grocery cart full of trash down the street, like, no shoes, like, they just... Yeah, some fucking super fake looking, super corny ass fucking bitch on some, you know, Tremfaya commercial. Um, and then of course our counterpart Nyarlathotep. You know what I'm saying? Of course he's gonna be down for this shit. Of course he's gonna want to pump out a ton of avatars as well. You know, and just randomly and just have them up there in some Wegovy commercial or just clowning us, just trolling us, man. And yeah, I think some of them can be rich. There's also that incentive for people from the underworld to do whatever they need to do down there. Is you can come up to this world and you can be rich. You can have a black card and buy whatever you want. Um, you know, from the underworld to royalty up here, damn near. With all the money you got going around and yeah, and I think that they're I think they want women to get with these men of the underworld. Like that's where they're trying to drive women to where they'll accept these men, like wanting really weak, really pathetic, um, just just genetically fucked up. I think that's who they want women to get with. Um, and just that culture. They just want this underworld culture to take over the surface world culture. Stay inside, dude. Stay safe. Okay? That was all part of that culture. That's how they live down there. Okay? Obviously, they don't go outside because they live in the fucking underworld. And they're jealous of us going outside, having picnics, going to the park, playing soccer, playing football with the sun out, the damn sun that'll destroy them. Um, yeah, man. I just that's just what I see. Could be totally wrong. This isn't something I'm gonna hang my hat on. I don't have physical evidence of it. Maybe I'll look for some. Show y'all some of these people with these weird ass accents or whatever. But yeah, for now it's just a little theory I've got rattling around in my brain.